Hi guys, I'm gonna tell you a story. It's about some animal friends. There's once upon a time there was some animal. There was a city called Animal City. There, all the animal. There were animals that only lived there. No humans or nothing else. Just animals. Even alligators and sharks. And undersea animals. There there were some animal friends, and the alligator, and there were two animal friends. They both Andy Alligator and Sarah Sheep. They were best friends. Sarah Sheep and Andy Alligator were friends. They used to play. They were going to fourth grade. Ow. They were going to elementary school. They were going to fifth grade. They were going to fifth grade. They were packing. School was starting, and they went to the animal store to get their. They went to the shop to get their school supplies, and then they were really excited about school. They were going to fourth grade. They were really excited about school, but they were scared because there were two bullies that always bullied them. Bart the bear and Bart the bear and who can it be? Lola the lion. They always bullied them. Lola and Lion and Bart the bear were friends. They were scared. They went to school. And then school started. They enjoyed their school, their first day of fourth grade, but the next day was worse. It was worse. Bart the bear and Lola the lion were in their class. And then they bullied, and then at lunch, Lola the lion and Bart the bear took Andy the alligator and Sarah the sheep's lunch and threw it away in the garbage. And then at recess they bullied them and pushed them down the slide and kicked them off the swing. And then Sarah the sheep and Andy the alligator were sad. So, and then throughout the school year, during winter time and in the springtime, Andy the alligator, Sarah the sheep got bullied by Lola the lion and Bart the bear. They got bullied by them. And then summer arrived. It was the end of the school year. And then at lunch, and then in the classroom, lunch recess, Lola the lion and Bart the bear bullied Andy the alligator and Sarah the sheep. And then Andy the alligator and Sarah the sheep were really sad. And then they said, "That's it. We need to tell Mr. Donkey, the principal, about this now, because Lola the lion and Sarah the sheep, not Sarah the sheep, Lola the lion and Bart the bear bullied us throughout the whole school year, and now it's the end of the school year." So they told Mr. Donkey, and then Mr. Donkey called their teacher, Mrs. Kangaroo. They said, "Hi, Mrs. Kangaroo, can you send your two students, Bart the bear and Lola the lion, to my office?" And then Mr. Donkey, the principal, dealt with Lola the lion and Bart the bear, and Bart the bear and Lola the lion were in trouble. And then Sarah and Andy, they were fine. And school finished. The end. Before I say goodbye, I just want to tell you something. As for Lola and Bart, their parents sent them somewhere to learn. Sent them to a mental hospital to learn to be nice. And that's the end. The end. Well, thank you for listening to my story. I'll tell you more stories next time. Bye-bye.